Thinking about converting a camper van but not sure where to start? I've been through the process twice now and I'm here to share what's actually worth doing and what's not, so you can save time, money and hassle. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Wild Free Van C. If you're new to the channel, I'm Adam. I'm here today to create some videos about what to go for in your camper van conversion. Now, I've got a few of these lined up. The first one's going to be, what kind of camper van do you want to go for? Now, I'm not going to lie, I am pretty biased as I have only owned VWs. Essentially, I'm talking about the size of the van. I owned a VW Transporter T6, which was your standard size van. It was a great motor, it worked brilliantly. And then I've moved on to a Crafter, something you can stand up in. As I'm going along, it doesn't matter which brand of vehicle you're going to go for. We're specifically going to be talking about the size and the benefits and pros and cons to having a bigger van to a smaller van. So let's start off. The first camper van me and Nicole got was a Transporter. It was Boss. We loved it. It was a peppermint green T6, extra long wheelbase, so it was 1.5 foot longer than your standard van. It was great. We got a massive double bed in the back with loads of storage underneath it. Managed to fit a little kitchenette in there with a gas cooker, loads of storage for all our food. We ended up going for a roof rack instead of a pop top, thinking we needed more storage. Storage was our biggest thing we thought about in that van conversion. Looking back, the ability to stand up when you're traveling around is a massive benefit. So looking back, maybe a pop top's a wise investment if you're going to be spending a lot of time in the van. For us, we were going away when we first got it for a couple of weeks at a time. It was fine for us. We were going out for dog walks. It was taking us to some amazing spaces. We didn't feel that we needed the extra room. But when we did go traveling for 6 weeks, we found that standing up was a luxury we really should have thought about. So looking back, pop tops are probably worth the weight in gold. To be able to stand up in your van and to have that little bit of comfort, especially when it was rainy days and we found ourselves stuck in the van for about 5 days just staring at each other's heads, it would have been nice to be able to stand up at least. Spending just 6 weeks in the van, we found that it wasn't enough space. If you're going to use your van to go like just for a weekend away, weeks away, nipping over to France, if you're not planning on living in it long term, it's a perfect size van. It's ideal, especially if you're not used to driving big vans. It's great for getting around the roads. It handles like a car, fits into car parking spaces. You don't have a lot of worry with it. You find you can even get into car parks where there's height barriers and height restrictions. But when it came to buying that van, we bought it. It was only a couple of years old, only had 40,000 miles on the clock. So we spent like 16 grand just buying the van. It is a lot of money. However way you look at it, we were quite happy to spend that sort of money because it was in such good nick. It was exactly what we were looking for. We hadn't spent any money on it for years after. You know what I mean? Apart from the services that we'd paid for, they didn't really need anything else doing to it. The engine worked like a dream. It lasted another 40,000 odd miles for us. So we thought it was a real good van for the money we spent on it. But it did cost a lot to do it up. We did as much of it as we could ourselves, but when it came to putting some bits in, we'd want to get a professional joiner. But my brother-in-law, he's really handy. He's put kitchens together himself, and we did get it bespokely made. So you could do it yourself for cheaper. I didn't trust myself. So after coming back and deciding we want a bigger van, we're going to sell that van. We're going to go for a Crafter. We found this online. It wasn't finished. It wasn't done up. It was already, they had all the bits to go in it. They had the fridge, the cooker, the water heater, the wastewater tank. It had the fans fitted. Pretty much all ready to go. It just needed finishing internally, the wiring done and all of that. So when we came to buy it, we bought it with everything in it. Bought for it brand new, so the fridges, the oven, the water heater, everything like that, the awning. I think we spent about £13,000 on the van, and then we spent another £7,000 on paying the two lads to get it all done for us, which looking back we think it was well worth the money, because in the 2 months it took them to do it, it would have taken me and Nicole a lot longer to do it. I would have had to take time off work, which means I would have stopped earning money in the meantime, which would have cost us more money in the long run. I think what we've done is the best thing we could have done. We couldn't be more happier with the end result. We are so happy with this van. because we went for an older van, we knew we were going to be going with more miles on the clock. So when we bought the van, it was 10 years old. There was 140,000 miles on the clock. We knew we were going to have to spend some money on the engine. So as soon as we got it booked in for a service, asked for a health check. We put some new wheels and tyres on it, because who doesn't want new alloys, let's be fair. Yeah, we set off on our travels and we had no issues, apart from, if you've seen our other vlogs, the fuel injector issue. The fuel injector has gone again. Now we're just waiting to get it seen to at the garage. But this whole video is all about what vehicle should you go for. Now, once the issue's solved, it is sound. If you're used to driving big vehicles, you'll have no bother driving a big van. But at the end of the day, even if you've got no experience driving a big vehicle, once you start driving it, you'll start getting the experience and you'll realise there's nothing to worry about. If you can drive a car, you'll be able to drive a van. There's no issue there. It's just building your confidence up. Like I say, we've got the space now to sit down, have our dinner, as well as keep our bed made up, not having to make it up every single day. We've got somewhere where we can use as a toilet, have as a shower. We've got kitchens units, we've got space, we've got an oven. We've got so much stuff in this van that we would have never been able to fit into a smaller van. We were showering outside the van before, whereas now we can have a shower inside the van. We've got storage above the bed, around the bed. We're laughing really at the minute. So we're really happy with the bigger vehicle. And this brings me to the main point. It is all about own personal needs and wants. Are you just going to be using your van to get away at the weekends, to go away for a week? Then you might be all right with a transporter size van. That might be perfect for you. But if you're planning on wanting to go away for months at a time, touring Europe and going to France and that, I would suggest going for the larger high top vans where you can stand up in. Honestly, the luxury of standing up doesn't get old once you've been in a smaller van. Honestly, it is the way to go and the way to travel, but it's all down to you. What do you want your van for? Where are you going to experience van life? Are you going away for a week? Are you going away for a month? If you're unsure of what vehicle to go for, I would highly recommend you check out websites like Go Booney and Quirky Campers, where people put up their camper vans to rent out for you to nip away and try it out in someone else's. Book it for a week. You'd rather spend a couple of £100 experiencing van life to find out it's not for you than spending tens of thousands of pounds on buying a van to do up to realise it's not for you. So that would be my main point of advice in this video, would be to, if you've not done van life and you're curious and you want to try it out, book a van out, see if it's for you. See if you think you could do this and it is worth the investment, because for me it definitely is. And I don't want to be encouraging people to go out and spend tens of thousands of pounds on a van build and getting it done up for it not to be for you. Try it out. Because trust me, if you're wanting to experience the world and see places that you won't have seen otherwise, van life's a great way to experience life. I hope you've liked this video. Like and subscribe for more next time.